Hi, this is Joe Randazzo, one of the producers on Caesar and Otto's Paranormal Halloween, and also a screenwriter and producer on The Perfect Candidate, which co-starred Robert Zadar.
Hi, my name is Steffen, and I am also an executive producer and co-story writer for The Perfect Candidate. What can I say about Robert Zadar? He had a presence larger than life, a face unmistakable, and his presence ever intimidating. Yet behind it all, the kindness and spirit of a puppy dog. My relationship with Bobby came to be through us needing to find a vice president for our film, The Perfect Candidate. In trying to figure out who would be the best running mate for Joe Estevez, I blurted out, "What about Robert Zadar?" We had a contact, and he was game. However, he lived out of state and had to be flown in for the shoot. I pulled multiple double and triple shifts at the restaurant I work at, just to earn whatever extra cash I could find to get Bobby in our short. I raised the money, Bobby was flown in, and was impressed with how we operated, and when he heard how the money to pay him was earned, he was even more impressed. I met him for the first time on Halloween night 2012 at Monk's Coffee Pub in Dubuque, Iowa. He was hosting a screening of Maniac Cop and was holding a Q&A afterwards. The screening was in the basement. The lights went out, and standing in the light of the doorway was Bobby. He was wearing a long black trench coat and his trademark police cap from Maniac Cop. He got a standing ovation from everyone and was incredibly humble about everything. After the screening, Bobby and I went out to get a hot dog and beer at a local bar around the corner from his home. He noted how he could tell I was from Chicago by how I liked my hot dogs. We both laughed, and from there our professional relationship grew into a true friendship going forward. Joe and I would travel frequently to visit Bobby in Dubuque. Just watching him walk down the streets and seeing the reactions from the locals blew my mind. They looked at him as if he just jumped right off the screen. His fight scene with Stallone from Tango and Cash is truly legendary and unforgettable. Whether it be going to burlesque shows at local nightclubs, or going to pizza parlors that he used to go to when he was just an up-and-coming actor, to just getting to know him in the privacy of his home. I got to see many sides to the Maniac Cop. I'm very honored that I got to call Bobby my friend. I miss you, friend. Vaya con Dios, Bobby.
Robert Zadar had one of those faces. You may not have known his name, but you recognized his face the second you saw it. His credits were legendary, from Tango and Cash to Mobsters to Maniac Cop and the Mystery Science Theater favorite Soul Taker. Bobby was a man with a heart of gold, typecast forever as a villain. We flew Robert in May. Paul Komicki and I were tasked with picking up Bobby at the airport while reshoots were being done on Caesar and Otto's Deadly Xmas. Paul and I waited by the airport. Bobby was wheeled out to us. This was his first film following his cancer treatments, and immediately his face was unmistakable. The man that was wheeling him out was clearly a fan, having been speaking to him the entire flight and now talking to Bobby about all the films that he'd done as he was walking him out to the front. Paul and I greeted Robert as Mr. Zadar, and Bobby would hear none of it. Just call me Bobby. Paul went to get his car. As Paul pulled up, the engine was smoking. Worried about what a fly-by-night operation Bobby would think this was, as Paul was working on his car and called for a tow truck, I hailed the nearest cab and took Bobby to the Hyatt Regency in Century City. I got to spend the afternoon with Bobby, waiting for my ride to come pick me up as we discussed his career, discussed our favorite films, and he told me a lot of great stories about a lot of the legends that he worked with. Truly, his name belongs among them. Over the years, our friendship blossomed, and he would call me almost nightly sometimes just to talk about whatever was on our minds. It was a great friendship with a true artist. Bobby would talk to me about everything from music to painting to his love of theater, his love of acting, and just down to basically, so who are you dating these days? He was a true gentleman and a wonderful human being, one that I will miss greatly. Robert Zadar was an icon. I treasured him as both a fan of his work and as a friend, and we're all at a loss for him no longer being here.